Hello, this is Dan, and today we're going to be looking at my Peyton Manning card collection. All of these cards were purchased in 2004, so these cards are all from 2004 or earlier. So his rookie cards were from 1998, so 2004 to 1998. I'm going to go backwards for the raw cards, and then we'll look at some slabs. And that's about it. Just going to start rolling through these. Talk a little bit about Peyton, obviously one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, two-time Super Bowl champion, five-time MVP. And these, we're going to start by looking at the 2004 raw cards. The reason I got all of these, and there's quite a few raw ones, is I collected when I was a kid back in the 80s, and then didn't collect for quite a while, and then in 2004 was purchasing some other stuff on eBay. And, that time I was sort of like, hey, I'm an adult, I have some extra money. So I started looking at cards like, Yaz rookies. And I liked the Red Sox when I was a kid. So Jim Rice rookie, Carlton Fisk, getting Ricky Henderson rookies, stuff like that. And, Peyton Manning and football cards weren't too popular or expensive at the time. So I bought just this giant lot of, 120 or so cards for I think it was $41. So it's a pretty good deal. Probably should have gotten some Tom Brady's instead, but I went for Peyton Manning. And, fell out of card collecting, put the cards away, and then once COVID hit, probably like a lot of other people, started to revisit the collection and just found this gigantic stack of Peyton Manning cards going back to his rookies. So I ended up sending a few of them in to be graded. There were some Topps rookies, a couple of Chrome rookies, some Upper Deck. That's it. A lot of them aren't. They're just sort of fun cards to look through, having not collected that much during that era. Things like this, some of the shinier cards, which I didn't see as often in the 80s. It was nice to see those cards. Especially, I think Peyton's a great player, right? I mean, you see the current quarterbacks. Right now, Mahomes is obviously pretty amazing. Brady's still playing, which is quite a surprise. Josh Allen, Herbert, all those guys. And if you were to ask any of them, would you be willing to, get 2 Super Bowl rings and 5 MVPs? Would you consider that to be a successful career? I think most of them would say, of course. So sometimes it seems sort of amazing that their cards are worth so much more. Certainly understand that people like to collect more so the players that they're currently watching. It's not quite as fun to collect someone. It's kind of a cool little shiny card there. A lot of these cards start to get, kind of the neat refractor look and things like that. There's a mini, and this is the kind of whole goal with this channel. And we have several of these. I won't show all of them, but there's like 5 or 6 of these cards. And the goal of this channel is just to really show cards. There's enough other people talking about, offering commentaries on grading and how inflation is going to impact cards and things like that. But cards for me are just kind of simple things that I enjoy looking at. There's kind of a neat refractor. I work in finance, so I'm well aware of inflation and other asset classes and how they may impact cards, but kind of takes away from the enjoyment. And if I want to learn about those other more financial things, or I want to read about them, I'd rather look at Bloomberg News. Don't want to kind of think about them too much when it comes to cards. Here's sort of a neat die cut card. So I know a lot of people usually record these more horizontally. I kind of like recording it vertically because I tend to watch, if I watch any card content, I usually watch it on the phone. So that's why I record like this. So really just the focus is just on the cards. Let people see maybe some interesting cards that they haven't seen before. Kind of mentioned before, I'm not a big collector of autographs or patches, and the reason is just because I feel the card's already so small, and to then just like having a nice clear picture. I do like chrome cards. I think they're pretty neat looking, but trying to fit too much on a tiny card just seems like overboard for me. So I'd rather like a picture like this. It's sort of neat to see. I wouldn't want like a patch on part of the card and then an autograph on top of it. The picture is good, kind of like that. Bowman Chrome, that would have been Brady's second year. like Flair Premium. It's got this is 2001, the same design as baseball. There's a Pujols rookie from 2001 also that I quite like, another die cut. So we're getting closer to his rookie. Again, we're going backwards from 2004. It's kind of amazing when I looked back and saw the prices. I bought quite a few cards in 2004 and just stashed them away and forgot about it again until about 2019 or 2020. So collected at different periods in life. In the 80s, around 2004, like I mentioned, and then started up again. Not sure how much longer I'll be collecting now, but it's something that I enjoy. Getting to some of the crazy shinier cards, which are pretty neat looking here. Sort of fun cards that probably aren't worth a huge amount, but it's always amazing to see the difference in value between current players who probably won't pan out, you know, statistically. All these current quarterbacks that are doing really well probably won't do as well as Peyton does for his career, but can certainly understand why people would want to collect the current players. But Peyton I like because I did grow up, I'd say grow up, like even as an adult watching him, and my wife liked, you know, found him funny also, seeing him on SNL, and he was in commercials and just being an amazing, essentially game-changing quarterback. Kind of a neat clear to that card. This one, this has like the sky, almost looks like the Van Gogh painting of Starry Nights, the sky. Of course, him and his brother Eli are still on ESPN. Sort of interesting seeing once he retired what he was going to do, because he was a, you know, likable guy and obviously very knowledgeable about football, and he kind of took it in an interesting direction. You know, he didn't go right out and be a commentator like Tony Romo or like a lot of other players. Seemed to have sort of taken a couple of years off and went his own direction, and seems to have some type of production and you know, doing some type of broadcasting now with the brother, which is quite funny. He's, what I hear, I'm not sure how accurate it is, but he's supposed to be producing or somehow involved with his production company, is supposed to be involved with Ken Golden, and doing some documentary. A couple of these, I'm not going to show all of them, they're all kind of the same. And the cool looking SP Authentics. They're supposed to be doing some type of documentary on sports cards, so sort of fitting. And that should be entertaining. I'm not sure if Peyton will be making cameos in it, but yeah, definitely a likable guy that's been doing some interesting stuff since he's been retired. His cards, this is pretty common with, I think, a lot of different players. People always say, oh, they're undervalued. You know, certainly Brady was more successful, but Manning's cards sell at, I don't know what it is, maybe like 5% or 10%, and certainly Brady's not 95% better than him. You know, if you have a Bowman Chrome 9, a Topps Chrome 9 rookie, PSA 9, say, of Peyton Manning, the card might be, I don't know, like 120 or so, and it's maybe about 2,000 for the Brady Bowman Chrome. I'm not sure pop counts, how similar they are. This is a really cool card. And this is one of those cards that's like, literally can still probably buy it for a dollar. And I just think this is such a neat looking card. So good way to spend $1. One of those times that it's, you know, people aren't going to look at it and say, hey, it's really valuable, but it's just a cool looking card. Here's, we're starting to get some of these cool refractors. These are all second year cards, 1999. And they're just fun to look at. Again, these were just bought in bulk for not much money back in 2004, stashed away, and it was sort of fun when I found them again. It's like, oh, I couldn't remember at all what cards I have, and it was interesting to find, you know, a gigantic stack of Peyton Mannings, including his rookies, and it took a while to kind of look up, oh, what year are these cards from, and, you know, which ones are valuable, which ones weren't. Certainly the values have decreased a bit since the big COVID boom, but that's to be expected. Seems like every 20 years or so in cards, there's a big spike. All right, so now we're reading the rookie cards now. Some of these are graded, which we'll get to in a moment. layer one. Kind of like this one, the Bowman Chrome, I think is a cool looking card. This card I quite like. This is the Sheer Brilliance. It's a upper deck, they call it black something or other. My eyes aren't very good. Black Diamond. That's kind of a neat looking card. I think that's numbered also. You can see that, yeah, numbered art at 1800. So, and if I get that graded, it's in pretty, I wouldn't say rough shape, but there's a dinged corner. It's kind of a cool little shiny card. Got a lot of rookie cards. You know, he was definitely highly touted at the time. Certainly, probably nothing close to the mass production that you see now. But still, for the time, a lot of different brands. Like, it's kind of a cheap brand, Aurora. Next one's, I think, an Aurora also. This one's numbered, but it's not, I don't think it's too valuable. That's numbered out around 1885. Kind of a cool looking card. Score. It's a Metal Universe. I think that this might also be the same company that does like the precious metal gems, which are super valuable. Sort of an interesting card, not a really valuable card, but sort of a neat one. And then a few of these. Again, these are sort of, they're rookie cards, but not super expensive, but still kind of neat that you can get a rookie card of one of the greatest quarterbacks. You know, most people say Peyton is maybe third. Here's the slabs now. A couple of these I bought after, you know, these weren't bought in 2004. It's about 3 or 4 slabs I just liked. I like this, the 1998 Ultra. So I bought a couple of those slabs. But again, probably, you know, Brady #1, Joe Montana #2, Peyton Manning #3 for quarterbacks, greatest quarterbacks of all time. And that you can get cards quite cheap, that you can line up with some rookie cards. And certainly that's not the case with, you know, Brady's. I guess you can get some of them fairly inexpensive, but there's, you know, probably still at least 50 or 100 bucks for one of the not so great ones. Bowman Chrome. And Topps Chrome. And a lot of these, usually for PSA, I won't buy 10s. I know, like people say from an investment point of view, that might not be wise, but you know, in the futures, 10s and 9s, I can't even tell the difference of the card, and there's a significant price difference. Here are some of the cards that I got graded. None of them got 10s. I think we have several like 9.5s. It's kind of a cool looking card, the Upper Deck Encore. It's kind of ironic that the grading of the cards was probably more expensive than buying all of the cards, which is probably a commentary on the price problems with grading. Though prices right now, it's November 2022 and prices are coming down for grading. Another Topps Chrome. Got a 9 from SGC. I tend to trust SGC trading more than grading more than PSA, though PSA is certainly more valuable as of now, but in the past, you know, Beckett was more valuable. So you can't guarantee that forever PSA will be the most valuable. Well, we have a lot of complaints with them, but people like money, so they'll still always go after the PSA 10s. SGC, though, for vintage sometimes is more valuable, and people trust it for that. Another 9.5. It's got 2 cards left. And last one is a Beckett. This is one of the ones I bought. You know, Beckett slabs have gotten much less expensive, and literally the card looks like exactly the same. Or, you know, if you got a PSA 9, I think I do have a PSA 9 and a Beckett 9. And the Beckett 9 was significantly less money, and the card looks the same. And who knows, maybe at one point in the future, Beckett will regain its, if it's not its dominance, but will become more equitable to Manning. Yeah. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, the goal here is just to look at some cards, talk a little bit about them, but mainly just to enjoy looking at the cards. If you enjoyed this, would appreciate it if you would click like on it and subscribe. And that's it. Have a great day.